His Excellency President Dr. Julius Maada and First Lady Madam Fatima has on Saturday, 10th December 2022, hosted His Excellency Hage Gottfried Geingob of Namibia and First Lady Monica Geingos as special guest of honor to commemorate the 4th anniversary of Hands Off Our Girls campaign. At a joint press conference immediately after the bilateral talks, the two leaders came out to express their satisfaction with the level and engagement they had had and told the media that they were committed to promoting each other's interest and building on what had been achieved. His Excellencies talk about the special, historical, and friendly tie between Namibia and Sierra Leone, creating the days of Namibia's colonial struggle, particularly from 1966 to 1990, and the guerrilla movement led by Southwest African People's Organization, SALPO. Sierra Leone was home to many Namibian freedom fighters in the SALPO leadership and others who escaped the scourge of colonialism and later settled in the country and had families. They also recalled that many Namibians pursue secondary and tertiary education in Sierra Leone, including Namibia's current Prime Minister, Sarah, who attended the Kwaidu Secondary School for Girls, Kono, and the St. Joseph Secondary School in Freetown, and many others in a past and current leadership position in Namibia. President Hage Geingob was pleased to note that amongst many Namibians, he also was carrying a Sierra Leonean passport, which had saved him from deportation abroad at some point. Namibia and Sierra Leone are members of the Committee of 10 African Heads of State seeking for reform of the United Nations, coordinating Africans' bid for a seat in the non-permanent category of the United Nations Security Council. President Bio is the current coordinator of the C10.
Namibia and Sierra Leone have a very strong tie that we have not used in the past. During the years of struggle, we were host, Sierra Leone was host to several Namibians who are today in a position of leadership in Namibia. That is a link that we have not explored, and it is very important in this relationship. Besides that, Namibia is quite strong when it comes to the mining sector. Our mining sector has a lot to learn, and we have a lot to share between our two countries. In terms of progress economically, they are very strong with fisheries and the meat industry, and there are quite a lot of lessons to share between our two countries. So this is actually meant to reconnect the two countries. His Excellency has been here twice before this visit. He's not been here as head of state, and that is why I said I have to bring him here to come and see the Sierra Leone. He's been here separately in the past. So we are very excited to have him here and to see how we can reconnect and leverage those connections for the mutual benefit of our two countries. So this is really the essence of our meeting.
You know, I joined the UN Secretariat and I got the laissez-passer, and I was going to France with my wife. When we came there, I threw the UN laissez-passer, thinking that's very important. UN civil servant and UN laissez-passer. Then my wife was American, and she threw her passport. Said, you can pass through, but what is your passport? You are going to deport you. And then I said, passport. I played dumb. Said, you mean passport? Yes, you fool me. He said, passport, now you can go in. So you can see here, I was about to be deported, humiliated, and I pulled out the citizen passport, and because of that, small things that they make us. So I was allowed to. Not only that, we had the UN with scholars, drafting, sitting there. Examination of the mandate question was a big debate. Your people were there, all this. Now that relationship, whereby many students came here to study, Many students who came from Namibia during the struggle, they were not just put up in hostels. They were also put up with their families, and they became families. And these people, some of them are now prime ministers, ministers, and so on. We are not cashing in on that kind of connection here. Now, my brother talked about the mining sector, the mining country. You as mining experts, diamonds are our thing, you are longer than us. Instead of bringing the British young boy to come and advise us, we can get Caesar person from here to come and advise us.
The Foreign Minister of Sierra Leone, Professor David Francis, in an interview with Pressmen, stated that the meeting was fruitful between the two leaders as they discussed extensively on developmental issues and also how to foster the friendship between the two countries.
Today, His Excellency, the President Dr. Julius Maada hosted his friend and colleague, the President of the Republic of Namibia, and the First Lady of the Republic of Namibia. This is part of the ongoing discussions between the two heads of states in terms of strengthening our bilateral relations. And as you know, the two heads of states have just explained that we have a very long history of cordial, supportive, dependable relationship between the two countries. And you will recall that during the liberation struggle for Namibia, Sierra Leone provided support for Namibians who today are in very senior positions, including the Prime Minister of Namibia, studied here, went to school here, the Foreign Minister of Namibia, studied here, went to school here, and of course, you've just heard from the President of Namibia himself, had a Sierra Leonean passport. So this visit is how to recalibrate, how to reignite and strengthen the relationship to support the two countries in the area of political cooperation.
For Star TV News in Freetown, George Elliott Sam reporting.